Hello and welcome to the video. My name is Shaden and this is an episode in an ongoing series called Hotlapping every street circuit in Forza Horizon 5, where I try to hotlap every street circuit in Forza Horizon 5 and I try to post a time that is among the top 5% of players. Now, in previous episodes it turned out that this goal was maybe a bit too low. So we're jacking it up to the top 1% for this time around. Now, this is the Cathedral circuit. The last circuit that we drove on was the Bola Ocha circuit, one of the most technical tracks for like medium to high speed stuff. The Cathedral circuit is just straight up like a test of precision, if you will. I know I've struggled a lot on it when it was featured in the rotation with the DeLorean for the monthly or weekly time trial ones. I don't quite remember, but when the DeLorean came out they put this one as a time trial and oh my god did I struggle. Now, as you can tell, I did not post a clean time in my first time around, and in my second time around you can see that the target lap is still the same on lap 5 and my best lap is slower than that. That is because I've aborted a bunch of laps because I just couldn't string together a clean lap, but this time around on the 5th lap I finally managed, I guess, to string it all together. Barely. You can tell that I'm really like not comfortable with the car and it's always on edge and I'm almost at the risk of invalidating my lap. That was a touch of the barrier, but the slightest touches are okay and don't invalidate your lap. Another complicating factor on this map is that for some reason the signposts don't respawn, or rather despawn, so they might be in the way if you clatter into them. Something to consider. Now this next one was not very... it was not very exciting. I just posted this a time that was 1 second quicker, and for the next rival it took me 4 laps to get quicker than this guy, and like the other car was surprisingly quick as well in places where I didn't expect it to be. So I wasn't actually ahead by much into the last corner, and turns out that the other cars are really fast in the straight, so I only improved by 600ths of a second, which is not much. Now we skip forward to the second lap of my last round, my last rival that I fought for this video. I have not seen the contents of this beside this beginning and the end. So I don't know what awaits me, but I can tell you that it must have been agonizing because yep, already messed it up. That is the problem with this track. At like a lap time of roughly 55 seconds. That is pretty normal for a Forza track, but it is definitely on the longer side, and because the complicated stuff is everywhere, but is mostly in the beginning and at the end. So either you invalidate a lap from the beginning and you have to drive it to the end to just attempt another one, or more annoying, you mess it up at the very end, which, yeah, I mean, could have just been avoided. But anyway, lap 3. The hairpin, like the braking point, I didn't quite figure it out at this point. But at least the acceleration zone through here was nice. I was very careful through this part. Which netted me an advantage, but I did not know how to take this corner without either being very slow, like here, or collecting the left side wall. Through here I felt a bit more confident. I was very slidey, so I knew it was not the most efficient way to get through the corner, but it was quick enough and that's all that counted for me. And annoyingly, I messed up the braking point and clattered into the left side wall, which I just did again for style. I'm pretty sure, had I not been desperate and just kept on like normally, instead of like stepping onto the gas pedal a bit too early, I would have been faster than the other car, but I didn't. And at this point I didn't realize, but I invalidated this lap as well, because if you invalidate a previous lap too close to the start-finish line, you invalidate the next lap as well, because you may have gotten an advantage, right? I don't know if it ever occurred to me, but I might have been slower overall in general on this lap, so it might like not even have clocked. Oh, that was a good braking point. We managed to reel in like 2 car lengths. And here, just again, on like this last part of the lap, I just want a bit too much out of the car. I can tell now in the replay that I'm not faster than my rival car. And oh my god, at least through the last part, right? So that's not where I can gain time on him, and I shouldn't really attempt it because it will lead to errors. Now, this is what I've been talking about. I've invalidated the lap at the earliest stage that I could, and now I have to drive it all again to get to the start-finish straight. But invalidating it early means I can also experiment with my lines and figure out where the limits of a track are, because I don't have a risk of like further invalidating this lap, right? It's already invalid, so there's nothing to fear or lose. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out this last corner. It's not perfect, but it's better. And I think I tried to be more committed in the first part, but I didn't figure it out really. This time around, I'm very careful with the hairpin. So I overshot massively, now I undershoot. This is just the normal procedure, I guess. But once again, the lap's still valid. We're still good. Okay, we just need to be clean through here. We were not clean through there. And this has cost us so much time that it's basically impossible at this point to reel the other car in, but I can still try to be faster, see where I can gain time. This part really is like the part where I gain the most time. And once again, I'm just a bit too eager. I'm being very slow. And being slow through the last corner also means that I'm slow like for the whole run of the start-finish straight. Here I finally find a rhythm, and one of the oldest tricks in the book. This last like light post on the right hand side costs you a bit of speed. So in cars that are fast enough that you can brake, like that you need to brake a lot, that last pillar allows you to bleed off more speed in a shorter amount of time. It's a Schaden top tip. Secrets of being fast on the Cathedral circuits. On the Cathedral circuit? What am I talking about? The Cathedral circuit. Okay. Anyway, this time around we're closer to this last section, but still. Look at that. Slow in, fast out. Well, almost. You can see the braking effect that stuff like debris has on the car. Very nice. Almost let it go. I like this with the dive to the inside, but oh, that was so unfortunate. There would have been a good hairpin, which would have set us up for like, not an advantage per se, but at least like being level with the other car. Through here I can see that we are a bit faster, but not as committed. So we do lose... we're head to head overall, honestly. It's very even between me and the other car, which is kind of interesting. But finally I managed to like take a little bit more speed with me, but too much. I can tell the G-forces pulled me to the outside of the corner, so that wasn't very good. In general, if it pulls you to the outside of the corner instead of the apex, you were too fast, basically, and you lose time. Once again, not very good through there, but we can make it back in the braking zone because my brakes are just really good, and I used a special trick which puts us towards the back of the other car. I can take a better line, which does net me a bit of an advantage, but I'm being cautious through here because I know I've clattered into this wall countless times, and now I can refine this part. So I'm being cautious, just to not invalidate the lap. But it also means that I'm on the back foot and need to make back the time somehow. I know that the part where I can make it back is coming up, so I try to take as much speed as I can onto the straight with me, but it was a bit too much and we collected the outside wall. And through here it was pretty okay. A bit too far on the on the left hand side on the way out and too far on the right on the way in, which is the opposite of what I wanted. And here I have a comfort lift and a tap on the brake, and that allows me to almost refine my line if I weren't as, oh my god, as inaccurate as I was. I missed like everything throughout that sequence that I could. And because of that we've been on the back foot a lot. I tried to make back time and I accidentally collected the outside wall. We are on lap 10 by now, and I was getting like pretty tired. Like, I've been on maximum focus for this whole time. But yeah, I did not expect to struggle so much with this track, right? And it's not as much the speed that I'm concerned with. I'm not slow. I know where I can gain time. I just cannot like execute it cleanly and string it all together. Which is like the... yeah, well, that is the trouble of hotlapping, really. Finally I found a good line through there and aimed straight for the... whoa. For the lamppost. I think I have a little tap on the gas because I braked a bit too much. It was interesting. By interesting I mean not very good, and I don't know, I must have like been unsettled by that in my concentration, so I messed up this middle part of the lap. Once again, we're good on the brakes, and usually good on the acceleration. I don't know why I keep doing this. We keep doing it. Yeah, that put me behind, and once I'm like fairly behind on the last third of the lap, there's just no way to recover it. This was just plain annoying. I've managed to figure out a line. I don't know why I didn't follow it. I think my concentration was like really fallen apart by this point. Oh yeah. Ooh. Yeah, no. Like after 11 laps of this, I think I just oh no, poor me. I've been at this for 10 minutes. I think I realized that as well, and I did not realize it. I would have said I think I've realized it as well, and I probably should have just taken a breather for the remainder of the lap, like get it back together. No, I see what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to figure out how I should drive this part, because I knew that there was more time in it and that I could be way more aggressive on like brake and turn, and I see. Did not relax at all. Yeah, no, this is full attack. Do I try to optimize my line through here? Yeah, kind of. I've managed to like not hit everything that was in the way there for once. Ooh, and that was really nice. A bit too wide still. Well, yeah, we did manage to set up for the hairpin nicely, but I forgot about the inside like trash can and lamppost, so we did bleed off a bit of speed, which is fine. And here I realized that the other car is just way too hot, and I can just brake earlier and be quicker through everything. Like, it finally clicked that I don't have to follow the other car into what it is, like, not doing correctly. Of course, I tried to extend my advantage, and I've talked about this a bunch of times, but trying to be faster where you can't be faster is just a recipe for disaster. Now, we're going on to lap 14. 12 minutes have passed. I did drop 2 gears this time around for the first time, and it actually helped. Now we're massively ahead after the first hairpin, which is good, because that leaves me like a lot of time to... It leaves me a lot of time as buffer time, which means that I can... Oh. I think that's exactly what I said in that moment as well. Well, the buffer time is there to like help me not do this, because if you're trying to be fast, you tend to make mistakes like that. Still, despite like being wide at that corner, you have a shot. Like, I know that I'm faster through every section now, and by a lot, I just need to string it together. So this time around, I was not happy with the way I took this corner. So we're doing it again. Drop 2 gears as we figured out on lap 14. Be really fast. Don't even take like the lamppost, but a clean line through the hairpin just the way I want it. Keep to the left side. Be brave on this right hand turn. Early on the brakes through this one because I want to stick to the left side. Now really open up the corner. Make sure I don't turn in too early and not too late. Use all of the available space. And here also we brake early enough so we don't collect the outside, but we also get on the gas fairly early so we can take more speed with this back straight. Once again early on the brakes because we have the time. Be very smooth through this last corner. Slow but steady through the last. On the gas, very clean, and finally we post a time of 53 seconds and 4.461, which is a whole second faster than my previous lap. I have no idea where I pulled it out, but I was tired at that point. But this time, of course, puts me into the top 1 percentile of players, right behind the elusive Lewis Hampton, onto place 2,322 out of like 2.3 million players. So I'm actually not just in the first percentile, I am in the first per mil of players, which, you know, that ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. And I hope you enjoyed these, holy cow, 18 minutes of Cathedral Circuit madness. I hope I will never have to touch this track again, because my god, that was pain. But yeah, I've posted a really nice time and I'm really happy with that. In any case, I hope you enjoyed as well, and I hope I will see you in the next one again. Until then, have a very wonderful time, and that is gonna be it from my side. Goodbye!